Hello, and welcome back for another Catfish episode. This is going to be a very brief encounter. I actually thought about not including it, but the biggest reason I did is because people like this irritate me. And before we go into this, couple of disclaimers. If you've never watched my channel before, the people that I bring up on this channel are people that freely message me on my real life actual Facebook. I do not message them. It's against my personal rules. I will respond to messages, but I do not message them first. And today, we have a special edition of Creepy Guy on our channel. So that's fun. Before we actually get into the conversation, which is not very long, it's going to be a short one today, I want to absolutely say that I am 100% a trans ally. I'm a huge LGBTQ supporter. Anyone who knows me in person knows that I am an advocate. I am part of the community myself. I'm also of the rainbow. So I feel like that's important to say because it is people like this person who make the fight for trans people so much more difficult. Because when anti-trans people are talking about, creepy people in the bathroom and da-da-da, these are the people that they're talking about. And this person does not represent the trans community in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like that's important to say because this is someone who identifies as a cross-dresser, which I have no problem with. Whatever you fetishize, I'm totally open mentally, all of that. I have an issue because in this conversation, there were two people who were violated. One was me, and two is the person that he's trying to impersonate. And as we go through the conversation, I'll explain why I have an issue with this. Not because of the activity, because of this person doing it in a way with the intent of making people feel uncomfortable and turning it into something creepy. That's what I have an issue with. I do not have an issue with people who are actually of the community. So I feel like that's important. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's introduce you to Creepy Old Guy. I am not sure if this is a genuine profile or not. He has literally 2 photos, but they were added several years ago. 2 photos. Let me clarify. There are 6 photos on his profile. Oh, did he delete the other ones? I bet he did. I wouldn't be... Oh, it looks like he did. Okay, so actually that even goes more toward... Actually makes me even more angry. So there were originally 2 different photos of an older gentleman who is definitely masculine. Very, very rough in the face, very broad, quote-unquote man-like shoulders. The kind of thing that like contestants on RuPaul's Drag Race complain about. But very, very harsh in his appearance. He was definitely an older gentleman, like 60s, 70s maybe, worn skin, gray hair, etc. But a very masculine, bony build. And then the picture that is the only pictures that are currently on his profile are of what appears to be a cisgendered woman. Now, I do not know if this person is... You can't see. All you can literally see is the back end of this person bending over a chair. What I can tell you is I've seen enough naked women in my life to recognize someone who has more estrogen in their system than someone who has more testosterone. This person either is currently on estrogen treatments or was born with ovaries, because the way the body is framed, it's just the way it works. It's a feminine build, and it looks... I don't want to say that. In this picture appears... That's it that I'm referring to. This picture appears to have a cisgendered woman in it. And he claimed that this was not. So he did. He deleted all his other photos. And that makes him even more angry because I saw the photos of the man that he said he was a man in this. And I have an issue because this is clearly a provocative photo of a woman in underwear. Again, when I say woman, I'm referring to someone who appears to be a cisgendered woman. I cannot tell from, well, actually I can tell from the angle, but I don't know what's going on the other side. She is in underwear. She is in lingerie, very revealing. You can see most of her skin. If you were to rate it in a movie, it would be like PG-13, probably closer to an R rating for this photo, okay? I'm not going to show it on screen, and the reason I'm describing it and not showing it on screen is because I won't, if she's being violated and does not know that, I don't want to be a part of perpetuating it. I will report this profile, though. I'm actually even more angry, and it confirms that the person in the photo is not the person who claims that they are, because that was not the original profile. Anyway, we can get into the conversation now, and I'll come back. I'll probably go to it again. Typical. Hi there. Good morning, beautiful lady. Good morning. Morning there, beautiful lady. Greetings from the group. How's life treating you? And I said, pretty well. It's a beautiful day here in Brazil. Never been Brazil, but heard it beautiful country, and the women are very beautiful. It's been hot, humid in USA, got to 100 degrees 3 days in a week. Where in the U.S. are you from? I'm from Las Vegas. I'm located in Oklahoma. That totally checks out. It is actually, his profile says Indiana, but Oklahoma is very hot. Been to Vegas a few times, talked about the dancers. I'm also a decent single gentleman interested in making friends that are big, beautiful ladies. The picture in the profile is not a gentleman. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be all-inclusive, and it's coming across as awkward. And so for any of my trans members, I apologize if my pronouns are disrespectful. I'm trying to get a point across. I'm trying to describe a picture without showing a picture. And it would be silly to say that, oh, this is a woman, because I don't know how that person identifies. Based on the picture and the lingerie that is being worn, I'm assuming that this is a female identifying person. Whether she is cisgendered or transgendered, I do not know. That's where I'm going with that. My point is that's clearly not a cis man. That's all I'm going for. It is clearly not a cis man in the photo. Even what they call quote unquote passing, it's not. I'm just saying it's not. If I showed you the picture, you would be like, oh, I understand what you're saying. Sorry. He talked about being single, so I said I am not single. Just into making friends that are BBW, not looking for a woman to go steady with. And I said, good, not a problem for me. It's kind of a boring conversation. The irritation is mostly when we get to the end of it and he starts talking about cross-dressing. His words, not mine. Exchanging photos, interesting conversation. We talked about traveling a little bit. Canada in autumn, and then talks about cuddling up. And then he says, I've always tried meeting women that just want to enjoy camping without being sexual. I'm like, okay. And this is when he changed his profile. So it changed from an older man in his 60s with a full head of gray hair, shaggy beard, very, very masculine features, very harsh lines, definitely very strong, broad shoulders. The kind of man that looks like he's worked in a factory his entire life, like a very rust-looking appearance. And then he changed the profile to a beautiful woman who you only see her back end. You cannot see the face, but I keep describing it in a way that's irritating because I can't without showing you the picture. And then he said, yes, baby, I got a little bit feminine side. Also, normally I dress up to entice people other than just be me. And I said, okay, no problem. I said, it appears to be a woman in the photo. And then just because I looked at his profile and he said that he goes either way. He talks about cross-dressing. And I asked, what's your preferred pronoun? And he said, I'm a man who has a fetishist wearing lingerie, being flirty, kinky. And then I said, okay, so a man. In his profile, he says he identifies as both, so that's fine. I mean, if you're non-binary, some days you identify as a man, some days you identify as a woman. I don't care. That's not the issue. I said, okay, but you're making it sound like the person in the photo is you. It's me, seriously. I'm in group chat with cross-dresser, also she-male, which is a term that isn't used very often at all anymore because it's offensive. And I said, okay, just figured be honest and open about it, sweetie. And then he sends me a series of very, very gross, that I'm not going to read, text messages. And then he says, you have a problem with this, referring to cross-dressing. And I said, no, I find nothing wrong with non-binary people. I'm all for embracing both. And then I asked, are you transgendered or non-binary? Based on the information in his profile. And then I tried to clarify something, and then he stopped talking, and then I ended up blocking him. So like I said, it's not as interesting as most of my others. My furiousness is that the grossness, the very graphic, uncomfortable sexual messages that he sent me with the intent of making me feel uncomfortable is what bothers me. And no, I'm not going to read it on screen. I'm sorry. I apologize to my fans out there that wished I would. I'm not going to, because it's violent and it's gross. And I hate this because the whole intention is to make the person on the other end of the screen feel uncomfortable. And it is people like this that cause the issue for trans people who are just trying to live their lives, or non-binary people who are just trying to live their lives. These are the examples that are used, and they're the problem. They're the issue. Because they are not representative of people in the rainbow. They are not representative of trans, non-binary people. And it's irritating. So this is not quite as lighthearted as fun as my other ones. But I apologize. And I've got some more in the works. I've got a couple. But I felt like this was important to share. Period. I felt like this was important to share. So that people know that there are perpetrators out there. And when I say, I mean, it made me uncomfortable. But the whole point was to make me uncomfortable, to demonize non-binary people. That was the whole point of this conversation. And I have an issue with that. And had he not changed his profile photo, I would have shown you the original photo. But he's deleted everything except for the one photo of this woman. Oh, and also, that's interesting. Sorry, I just scrolled back to this, something in 1996, and it says he was in Pakistan. So not a good catfish. Anyway, I'm going to report this profile, and I'm going to bring in my fury just a little bit. And thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry. Today was a little more serious than most of my other ones. They're much more lighthearted. But I felt like this was something that needed to be done because this is something that's happening. If it happens to me, it has to happen to other people. So we will leave that there. For everybody watching, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. They will not all be this heavy-handed. Like I said, today's going to be a short episode. So thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you're staying out there and healthy. It's raining right now. So thanks for the 4th time, 5th time, whatever. And I will see everybody next time.